Hey everybody, we're Easton Union. In an age of auto-tune and AI-generated content, we're a band of 4 guys who still want to get in a room together and make something special. Now we want to pull back the veil and invite you all to join us as we strive to create the best art we can and give our music a chance to connect with real people out in the world. Whether you're a fellow musician trying to find your place in this digital landscape, or just someone who appreciates organic music played by humans, we hope you'll come with us on the journey. This week on Easton Union, we wanted to continue to give you all the opportunity to get to know us better. I had the chance to sit down with Nick Hoffman, our very own drummer extraordinaire, in what will soon be, with any luck, our new and improved Easton Union headquarters. Without any further ado, my conversation with Nick. I hope you enjoy. Hello, Nick.
Hello.
Why don't you start by telling folks where we're at?
We're in the soon-to-be new Easton Union headquarters, our studio in my backyard.
Yeah.
It's been a long labor of love, we'll say. Tonight we love it. Everything went pretty good tonight, but up until this point, it's been rocky.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. We'll have some other episodes that are specifically about this space and our dreams and plans for how we're going to use that in the future. But tonight, I just wanted to give folks an opportunity to get to know a little bit about you. So why don't you tell us who you are and, what's your job here at Easton Union?
Nick Hoffman. I play drums and I guess percussion in Easton Union.
You do the all-important task that drummers are given, which is to provide bands with a practice space.
Yeah, that too. Yes, that's
yeah.
true.
We've actually been in Nick's basement since the foundation, but we're hoping to move out here real soon.
My wife's over it, is what he's getting to.
So, tell us how it is that you became a musician.
Well, my father was a drummer, although he didn't play a lot after I was around. There was always a drum kit in the basement, so I don't ever remember really not playing. So I started playing. Like I said, I don't remember not having a drum kit. And he showed me the basics pretty early. I wouldn't say I didn't really start studying until like school band starts, which is like 5th grade, I think, 5th or 6th grade. And I got a private instructor just here in town that I had probably from about 7th grade, maybe. Yeah, like junior high, I would say. I started studying with him up until I went to college. And then, I went to Berklee for 3 semesters and studied there. I was a performance major. And then I had the opportunity to study with Gary Chafee. So at that point, I decided to drop out of Berklee and study with Chafee. So, yeah, and the whole thing went on from there. I stayed in Boston for, another year or so, and I started touring with a guy out of Vermont. So I wound up moving up to Vermont. I lived there for 3 seasons. I was big into snowboarding, so I lived up there for, I think it was about 3 seasons. And then I left there and I was in LA for 10 years, and I've been back here for close to 15 now. It feels like, I don't know, I don't do math well. I try to forget about all that stuff.
That's not why we become musicians.
Yeah, but I got into it because of my dad, and really it was just kind of like the first thing, like so many other people say, is like the first thing I was really good at, and I was hooked. Like I was obsessed. I mean, my parents will tell you, like I was in the basement constantly. That's all I did.
What kind of stuff were you doing when you were out in LA?
I was just kind of the grunt. Like I was like, so I mean, I was playing the whole time. I always had my band that was like my original band, but then you're just constantly jumping on whatever gigs you can get, and I did it for about 10 years, and it was fun. Like I loved it.
So you were doing the full-on hired gun.
Oh yeah. Yep. In between, I mean, I always had bar jobs and, waiting tables. I had
Oh,
a
yeah.
ton of friends, roommates that owned restaurants and stuff like that. But yeah, it was full on. I tried to make it all music as much as I could. I taught a little bit too. I was teaching at a Manhattan Beach School of Dance and Music. I taught there for a few years. But yeah, it was mostly just grinding it out with different bands, all different styles. I was young and didn't have a family at the time and was willing to go and do anything basically, and that's pretty much what I did. It was a good run. It was fun.
So what about Easton Union? What's unique about this experience compared to the other things that you've done up until now?
I think this is definitely probably, now that I think about it, it's like the longest I've been with a group of guys consistently. But I just, and it's the way the band's been set up from the beginning, and I think it has a lot to do with it being kind of started by pretty much the bass player and the drummer. Like we just keep everything equal, and that's everything. Like, if I come in one day and say I want to sing this song, like no one's gonna tell me no. It's, and I think we all have that common, like, at the same time, like if I sucked and it was that bad, you could all turn around and look at me and be like, yo, Nick, let's work on this. Like, it's not time to take it on the road. Like, we have that respect with each other and we can be honest with each other, and it's just, there's no front man.
Yeah.
And I mean, even I've been in some great bands and I love all of them. Like, I'm so grateful and fortunate for everybody I've played with. But like, this is the first time I've been in a band where it's like, it really does feel like it's equal. And I know going into this project, that was the main focus for me. It's like, I want to make sure that everything's equal down the middle, and artistically, financially, everything. Like, it's a common, this is our thing.
Well, it helps that bands don't make money anymore, so there's
Right.
nothing to
Yeah.
fight
Yeah.
about.
Yeah. That's the truth. Yes. Yeah. So true. And I think you have that feeling being a drummer, because I know I felt like it. You get bumped out of so many situations. And it's like, I had so much to do with arranging that song, and I'm not gonna get it. I'm not gonna get paid for any of that. That song did not sound near as good until I, they let it, what do you go on forever about it. But yeah, I don't. In this band, it's like we're all, yeah, it's a communal thing, and it's like we're not afraid to go different places. Like, stylistically too. Like, I hate getting put into a box. Like, I don't even, I don't like being called anything. Like, I like being eclectic. It's just, it's good or bad. I like good music. There's two kind of music, good and bad. I like good music. This is period. And I feel like we step over a lot of boundaries artistically and stylistically, and I dig that about it.
Yeah, I think the equal collaborative project thing, like, it either works or it really doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like, and I think we're really fortunate that that it just does work for us. It's probably more often that it doesn't. I've tried those bands in the past. I don't know if you did, but and it usually didn't go really well. And gosh, I'm really grateful for the fact that it probably helps that we're old enough to check your ego a little bit.
Yeah, I think about that a lot, like in the bands that I was in before, because I mean, there's been times where I've been in bands where it's been communal or whatever, like more like this or whatever. But yeah, I think back then the egos, and that comes with age, though, for sure. But yeah, definitely, it's a hard thing to keep a band together. I mean, we've been together a long time, the four of us. I don't know, how long has it been now? It's been close to 8 years.
It was I joined up in the fall of 2018. You guys had been working a little bit before that I got involved, and we played our first gig between Christmas and New Year's 2018.
Yeah, so it's crazy to think about it.
Doesn't seem that long to me, but
yeah,
it's like. So you and we're the same age, and we've both been making music since we were kids. How was that different than when you started? How is being a musician and being involved in this business changed over the years?
I mean, the obvious, it's just a lot harder to make a living at it now. There's not near as many opportunities. I'm not saying there's not any opportunities, but I think especially for guys our age, it's like it's changing, and just like what we're doing here now, like putting this stuff out on like the way we are. Like I never did this before, I mean, I'm used to grinding it out on the road in a minivan, pulling a trailer, and then 6 months later when you come back through, the clubs are twice the size, like that's what we always did. And now, we've talked about it over and over again. It's different, and this is how you attract a crowd now. So that's why I'm sitting here awkwardly in front of a camera, trying to explain myself. But yeah, it's changed, but I do see hope in it, to an extent. But also too, like being someone that did tour for so long and do all those different fly dates and all, grinding it all out, being 47 with an 8-year-old kid, like, God, it sounds so much funner to be able to just do it from this space in my backyard. And, not that I don't want to play live shows. I'd love to play live shows, but they got to mean something. And, it's not playing to an empty room or, those types of things. So like, I do see like promise in the way things are changing. It would be nice to see if they could figure out how to pay musicians with their royalties again. And hopefully somebody will figure that out. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. It kind of feels like that ship sailed.
Yeah, I don't know if the genie's going back in the bottle, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely changed, and I would be lying if I said I haven't been discouraged lately. It's the first time in my life where it's like, man, I've kind of had to like really sit back and think about like, what are we doing? It's never been a question of how much I love doing it and how much I love the art and the creation, but it's like, going out and doing it the old way, it's just not effective anymore. So we got to find a new way, because there's no way I don't want to stop playing ever. Like that's never even really crossed my mind. But yeah, I mean, and we've talked about it before. It's like there's been some of those nights where it's like, wow, man, like I can't. I just read a thing the other day. I think I sent it to you, where it was explaining like their theory is that music is going to turn more into like the live experience. Like when people record records, they're going to want to see the recording of that actual take, and that's going to be more the record. Like they're going to present it in this format. So not only are people going to be listening to it, they're going to see it, so they can see like, the musicians actually playing it. Because like a perfect record doesn't mean anything anymore. I don't think. We spent all those years. I don't know about you. I mean, I did it in LA. I'm sure you did too. Where there was times where like we would spend a day getting drum sounds. And now it's like just hearing the drum sounds and the sounds that we've been able to get in the small rooms or even in my basement. I mean, that first record was recorded in my basement.
I'm still proud of it. Like,
me too, super proud of it.
Great.
Yeah, and it's like, why were we doing it? Like, I mean,
I didn't do that kind of stuff. It probably caused me not to make as much money too, because I just didn't want to, and I wasn't in a market like LA where there's a ton of that going on. But I do think, man, all of the music that every member of this band really loves, the stuff that really turned us on, wasn't made that way.
Yeah.
Nobody was obsessing for 6 hours about the snare drum sound, making a Stones record or something. Right. Like they just like, they got some mics up and got some sounds and cut the tunes while they were still excited about them, when things were still fresh.
So like just to have it all in one spot, like it's all just going to be here, it will make for so much easier.
And low barrier to getting started, because I mean we're all
busy.
We're all busy. I mean we're all married. You and I have kids. Our kids play sports. Like we're regular people with the ridiculous schedules of modern American family life that
youth sports.
Forget youth sports.
Oh my God.
I love and hate youth sports, but
yep.
But that means, man, if it takes a whole day to get set up, then we don't get to really
do anything.
do stuff very often. I mean, we squeeze in some rehearsals, but like as far as like creating things that we want to share with you fine people and actually release, like, man, like we have to really make a lot of effort to carve out a weekend where we're going to go and do some recording. And I love doing that. But I mean, that's, 8 hours probably of all four of us getting our stuff packed up, loaded up, driven wherever we're recording, set up, checked, getting levels. Like it's a big commitment and a big teardown.
Yep.
And so that's why, we do that like once a year. And creatively, it's like, it's just not enough. Yeah. I don't know if you feel that, but I feel like, man, I got more gas in the tank creatively.
Yeah. And this also too, like I think as far as the creative, this will allow us to be more creative as far as like, I mean, we recorded stuff before and took it home and come back, but this is make it super easy, as far as the writing process. And yeah, it's just going to make the whole creative process better.
I think we've all been in situations where we had to be super efficient. So you go to the studio and you're like, you've got everything worked out so that you can, in 2 days knock out 8 songs or
right.
And something, not that I'm not proud of everything that we've done, but sometimes some of that white hot inspiration that happens when you're actually forging the material, you don't necessarily always get to capture that. There's a little bit of that excitement that gets lost because we've already kind of really worked it out.
Well, you hear that all the time, like, oh, they use the scratch vocals because that's the one that was the first.
So after all of the stuff, all of the changes in the music business, and how much in our phase of life you've really got to fight to make time for this, why is that still worth it to you?
I mean, it's more than it's therapeutic, I think. I mean, it's just something I've always done. It's my meditation. Yeah, I still to this day, like, my wife will go out of town and kids not around, or like, it's nothing for me to sit down at a drum kit for 3 or 4 hours and just play, not play songs, just play exercises. Like, I enjoy doing that. Like, there's something meditative about it. It helps with my ADD or whatever you want to call it. It definitely, it's therapeutic. And like, it's something I'll never perfect, and it's like, especially jazz. Like I'm not a jazz drummer. I've studied a ton of jazz, but I'm not a jazz drummer. But I love the challenge of it. And yeah, I'm not good at it yet. So I'm going to continue to do it. Yeah. I just love, and like, and then just getting in the room, it's the communication part. Like, I love that, aspect of it. Like, I thought it was always the live crowd, but it's not. It's more than that. Like, we talked a lot about that Julian, what's his last
Lodge,
name? Yeah,
Julian
that show
Lodge.
That we saw, like that communication between players, and it's, I don't know, there's not much that beats that feeling. Like, if the groove is really locked in and the whole band's together, even if nobody's there, it's just you, the 3 of you, the 4 of you, the 6 of you, whatever. Even without an audience, I don't know if there's a better feeling. Like, it's, yeah, it's just,
it's
like I
transcendental.
Said, I can't imagine not doing it. I can imagine not doing it in the circumstances we've been doing it in lately, but I can't imagine not, yeah, it's not, I just couldn't, yeah, I always think back to the COVID because that was so hard for everybody. But I mean, it was really hard because we had recorded the first album basically right before COVID hit. So we had our big album release party planned, all this stuff, and it just literally shut us down for 2 years. And it was like that time, like I just remember that time, and I remember over that time saying, I'll never take this for granted again. I will never, because I was in like my own little pity party because I, been just getting back, not just getting back from LA, but like, I was still pissed about leaving LA, or, just grumpy about it or whatever. And then I was super excited that Easton Union, I finally found something that I was going to be into, and then that whole thing went down, and it was just like, I'm never going to take this for granted again, and I'm careful because as of late I had been, like feeling pretty negative about it, but it's like I think about like how much I missed it, because we couldn't even practice then, like we couldn't even like be in the same room together, for a long time. I mean, it was months before we.
I remember like. At one point, we had a few shows that were like outside, and I remember like practicing in your basement with masks on.
Or your garage. We practiced in your garage so we could leave the garage door open, didn't we?
Oh yeah, that was
Yeah.
yeah. But I remember at one point practicing with a mask.
We did.
Trying to sing through a mask. I'm like, oh, this is just miserable.
Fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just I'm
glad we survived that.
Yeah, I can't imagine a world without. Yeah, I think I would go crazy. Like I need to sit down and play, and like I don't know. It's my therapy. It's what makes sense to me. I don't know. Like I don't know.
I feel like most musicians, and if you're a musician, you probably are if you're watching this. Right. But if you're a musician, I'm sorry, I don't mean to offend, but I feel like musicians tend to have some sort of neurosis, ADHD, something that I maybe it's not just musicians. I think it's people that are fundamentally artistic in nature. That I don't actually think that it's something wrong with us. I think some people are built for some things, and I know I wasn't built to be an accountant. But if I don't get the opportunity to be creative and expressive and to have the catharsis that happens when you're performing and it becomes transcendental, whether that's just in a room jamming or whatever, like if I don't have those things happening in my life, I kind of start to come apart.
Oh, I totally do. I can't focus. I'm just frustrated. From that, like that's the best way to explain it, and it's the creative, I get it a little bit with like buildings, like doing this, like,
Sure.
I think about that a lot. Like, man, I wish I would have like went into like something with wood, like, whatever it would be, build furniture or something, as a job. Because yeah, it's definitely, you got to get that out, but nothing's quite tickles that fancy as much as music, for sure. Like it's,
for me, being able to explore is one of the most powerful things about being a musician.
Yeah.
And you never run out. It's not like, we've covered all the territory, the whole surface of the world of music. I've explored it all. Like it just never runs out.
Yeah. Well, I think this is going to leave us the ability to capture that lightning in a bottle.
I have so many lousy recordings from bands I've been in literally over the course of 25 years where there was like a single microphone hanging in the middle of the practice space, and I have a very poor quality audio performance of something that we were never able to capture again. Not in the, like, sure, we could play the song, but we could never capture that magic.
Right.
But the sound quality of that microphone hanging in the middle of the room is unusable. Like, I'm not going to share it with the world. But I got recordings I still dig out sometimes. I'm like, gosh, man, that was a moment. I wish it would have been captured. And I hope that we can stop missing those moments.
Yeah, I agree.
So, well, here's to all our future moments, and hopefully you guys
cut me off. Am I getting the Grammy walk-off speech? Am I getting cut off?
Do you have more to say?
I'm totally
we can go as long as you want, man.
I'm totally messing with you.
No, I don't need we don't need the whole world to be interested. I'm not trying to have a Sabrina Carpenter fan base. Like, no. I'm not. I think there's enough people that if we're doing what it is that we do genuinely, what we genuinely love to do, there's enough people out there in the world who will care. It's fine if you don't.
They're just not in Northeast Ohio. But we're gonna find you. We're coming for you.
I mean, I'm sure that there are some.
Yeah.
We've got some people that show up at shows. I wish that there were more of them, but man, we've got some people that like
Come quite a ways.
come quite a ways, and like hopefully the power of the internet and the algorithm behind YouTube helps us to connect with the people who would care about what we're doing if they only knew about us.
Yeah. Like-minded people.
So with that, if you're one of those people, please consider liking and subscribing, and come on the journey with us.
Yeah.
We're trying to drop one of these every week, so we'll see you on the next one.
Follow the progress.